disruptive.
America that I fought for.
Weird thing to happen. Hello, one and all. Welcome to this edition of Kitz Corner. Hoping a fantastic day so far. So it's March break, and why not talk about airplane safety at a time like this? Well, people do the most traveling, vacationing, getting away, going to the sunshine states and soaking in those tans. Let's talk about how safe airplanes are. It's always a great time to mention that. Because we have seen Boeing, for example, having a huge spew of controversial, situations and issues regarding their new planes that they're introducing here. So, for example, as is reported by CNBC here, the FAA audit of Boeing's 737 MAX production reportedly found dozens of issues. So that's the new plane that they're trying to push on all the airlines. That's supposed to be the plane that's going to, be the new plane of all planes. It's going to, transport people and parcels and freights all around the world. This is the mastermind of great planes. And they're realizing that the manufacturing is ridiculously flawed. They had to ground a bunch of these planes. There was missing parts at one point. Boeing had to come forward and cover it up. To say that it's not a big deal, even though we have to get audited and things are a little slick and shady in our business practices. Everything's okay. You should still continue to travel with us, knowing that potentially you're riding a death machine. But now there's an investigation done by Al Jazeera, and I always like when journalism actually takes a step forward to actually interview people of workplaces. You don't see that a lot these days. You don't see a lot of, news organizations actually bothering to hear the testimonies of workers at certain facilities because they know that Boeing is a major advertiser to the news industry. And the reason that they're such high advertisers to the news industry is not because viewers are interested in buying their own commercial jets, but more in the fact that Boeing is bribing news companies and journalists do not report these issues. So you're never going to hear this on Western media, which is why Al Jazeera is going to be one of the very few places that's actually going to take a step in to look at the employees of Boeing and hear their reaction to the controversial Boeing 737 MAX that is apparently just dangerous to ride.
This is a Boeing factory in the US state of South Carolina. Workers here in Charleston are assembling the company's flagship product, the 787 Dreamliner. But this footage reveals some have little faith in the plane they build.
Did you fly in one? No. You won't fly in one. Did you fly in one of these planes?
Of 15 workers asked randomly, 10 said they would not fly on the Dreamliner.
I wouldn't fly on one of these planes because I see the quality of it going down around here.
Isn't that an interesting take? Isn't that interesting? Because you'll see, the CEOs and the company organizers are constantly going on the press saying and covering up the story saying, oh, these planes are great. Everybody's riding them. Everybody needs air travel. The 737s, the dream plane, they're such amazing aerobatic tool that the great machinery, it's just so great. And then you're hearing from the actual employees who are constructing these airplanes. They're constructing the airplanes, and even the employees are saying that the quality is so lacking that they would not ride this. What does that say? When your own employees are not even satisfied with the product that they're making, that kind of breaks you away. That is kind of amazing. And again, Al Jazeera took that extra step to interview the workers and actually go undercover like those shows you used to see on TV where they go undercover to see how the employees really react to the products that they're making, seeing what the ground floor is really like at these corporations. And they're realizing firsthand that people don't trust Boeing. Even the people that work at Boeing don't trust Boeing because they know that the grade of quality has decreased. And considering that most people want to have a safe traveling experience boarding an airplane, I know air travel is not the greatest by all means, and I would prefer not to be on air travel, period. But in a lot of cases, you have to do it. That's like a vital option. They want to be confirmed that the airplane itself is safe enough for travel. If the employees can't even argumentally say that they feel safe boarding one of these planes, imagine trying to get passengers on after hearing the mass amounts of troubles and issues, the fact that they need to audit it, these planes, these new constructed planes, because of how bad they are.
An employee captured the footage after contacting Al Jazeera to tell us he had serious concerns about what he was seeing. At his request, we changed his voice.
With all the problems reported on the 787, there's 90% that's getting swept away. Hushed up. It's an iceberg.
In another meeting, the source told us workers are often underskilled, uncaring, and in some cases on drugs.
I've seen a lot of things that should not go on at an airplane plant. People talking about doing drugs, looking for drugs.
It's all coke and painkillers and what's the other one? You can get weed here. It's really good weed here. They don't drug test nobody.
I know they don't.
And there's people who go out there and lunch go smoke one up.
Do they?
Hell yeah.
Now, I know people are going to take this. And I know there's people that are going to clip this and try to make the soundbite to frame this as pointing the finger at people that are on the drugs, or they're trying to make this excuse of this is what happens when you legalize marijuana, that you're going to get workers that are stoned and they can't make airplanes properly. That's not the point of this story. That's not the point of this investigation. The real reason why this is so awful is because this is the corrupted business practices of Boeing. This is not the workers' fault. The workers know that the quality has gone down. They know that they're being exploited. They know that they're producing worthless crap for pennies under Boeing that they don't feel safe to even ride on. And they know that they're trying to take it up with Boeing, but Boeing's ignoring them. Boeing's ignoring the issues. Boeing's ignoring the lack of quality. And they're trying to cover up the flaws that they obviously know are in the workplace. So it's not the fact that the employees are on drugs and that's why all planes are bad. It's the fact that Boeing is no doubtably covering this up for corrupted business practices, paying news channels and paying investigators not to cover these stories, and allowing people to board these planes to their potential risk. And they don't, if the employees don't feel safe about their own product, are you going to feel safe riding on this plane, knowing all the issues that they're having, knowing that Boeing has been spending lucrative amount of money to cover this up instead of addressing the issues and making better product?
Over the course of a year, Al Jazeera's investigative unit...
So, that is a fascinating take. That is a fascinating take. And kudos to Al Jazeera for actually stepping in to talk to people on the ground floor. And again, this is the problem with kind of this late stage capitalism. When you have, monopolies are taking over the free market and you don't have options, you don't have choices, you don't have the ability to get away from that. This is what happens. And even the regulatory boards that are supposed to monitor this, the governmental boards that are supposed to, look after the safety of airplanes, they're bought out by these creeps. We have, Big Sugar that are buying out health industries. We have people that are, Bill Gates is in bed with big corn syrup. Why would a tech giant need to be in bed with big corn syrup? Because it's not about health. He's not concerned about health whatsoever. He's concerned about the investment that's made out of it. He wants people to be sicker. Just like how Boeing, they don't care about the quality of the plane. They just want to buy out the governmental body that's inspecting planes, allow these planes to get on the market, airliners buy up these planes, and next thing you know, they're death traps. That's how chaotic this is. And this is what happens when you have no real restrictions, no real regulatory board, unfeathered capitalism just dominating over. You have monopolies that just take over industries, take over regulatory boards, and you just allow this to continue on. And does it make you feel safer to air travel, knowing this is happening, knowing that employees at Boeing are even admitting that they won't fly these planes? They won't want to board on? How's that going to make you feel? How's that going to make you feel? Because for me, I don't feel any safer. I feel worse off if I had to take air travel. That's just crazy. That's just crazy. And like I said, these are the new planes that they're trying to push every airliner to start using. These are supposed to be the planes, the universal planes of all airlines. And you have reports of missing parts. You have reports of low grade quality, that there's certain planes that had to do emergency landings. They couldn't make it all the way. There's planes that couldn't even take off because they're so flawedly manufactured. Again, not from the workers' faults. I want to reiterate that. This is not because the workers, some of them are on drugs, and that's why we got to decriminalize. No. The whole point of this is that Boeing knew that they're lacking quality. They know. They personally put this onto their workers. I'm sure they told the workers, hey, don't worry about safety protocols. Don't worry about tightening these parts. We want mass manufacture. Get it out to the stores. I don't care if it's safe. I don't care if it's inspected. Let's just get it out there. These are the CEOs of Boeing telling the workers to do this. And the workers feel so exploited. They feel so damaged that maybe that's why they're doing drugs. Honestly. Because if they don't feel good about the product that they're making, then they feel bad about themselves. Why are they working at a place that they don't feel safe of using their own products? That's chaotic. That's insane. And that's just, sadly, a glimpse of the world that we're in right now. This free market world, which really it's not even a free market. Because everything's being bought up. You have, big, giant global corporate entities that are just going to eat up everything. And it's going to be like, use this analogy. It's going to be like the movie WALL-E, the Disney movie, Disney Pixar movie, where it's one corporation running everything, exploiting everybody to the point that we're going to have to fly off to space to get away from our disgusting Earth that we're polluting and violating and screwing over constantly. And it's just going to ruin the human race. And it's going to be a robot that's going to have to save us. That's probably the best analogy I can use to explain moving forward, continuing on the oligarchical monopolies that clearly are scamming you and are doing damaging, not just to their consumers, but damaging their own reputation. Because Boeing was supposed to be this safe airplane manufacturer. They were supposed to be the company, the trusted company for airplanes. And now here they are in this situation where their own employees are saying that they don't feel safe with the products that they're making. That is astonishing.